United States was a country of change and unrest. California, especially the San Francisco Bay Area, was known for its beautiful scenery, peaceful suburbs, and bustling cities. But behind this peaceful exterior, a shadow was about to emerge, a killer who would terrorize the region, taunt the police, and become one of the most mysterious serial killers in history. He would call himself the Zodiac. Chapter 1: The First Murders. Lake Herman Row, December 20th, 1968. On a quiet, dark road known as Lake Herman Row, 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen and 17-year-old David Faraday parked with their car, a typical teenage outing. Everything seemed normal, until another car slowly approached. A man stepped out. He carried a gun. David was ordered to get out of the car. Seconds later, he was shot in the head. Terrified Betty tried to flee, but she didn't get far. She was shot 5 times in the back. Both teenagers were dead. Initially, police considered it a random act of violence, but in reality, it was the beginning of a killing spree that would haunt California for years. Chapter 2: The Second Attack, Blue Rock Springs, July 4, 1969, Independence Day. A young couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, were at the Blue Rock Springs parking lot. A car approached and the driver stepped out. He observed the couple, then retreated, only to return moments later. He opened fire. Michael was shot, but survived. Darlene Ferrin was critically injured and died later in the hospital. Minutes after the attack, a phone call reached the Vallejo Police Department. The voice said, "I want to report a murder. I want you to know I killed those kids last year too." This was the first real contact between the Zodiac and law enforcement. Chapter 3: The Letters and the First Cipher, July 31st, 1969. 3 San Francisco newspapers received letters from the killer. He claimed responsibility for the murders. He included a cipher, a cryptic message of 408 characters filled with symbols. The letters threatened, "If you do not publish this cipher, I will kill again." The newspapers, terrified, published the cipher. A school teacher and his wife eventually cracked it. The message read, "God, I like killing people because it is so much fun." It was a chilling insight into the killer's mind, but it still did not reveal his identity. Days later, another letter arrived, and this time he introduced himself. "This is the Zodiac speaking." And just like that, the world had a name for terror: the Zodiac Killer. Chapter 4: Lake Berryessa Attack, the Hooded Killer, September 27th, 1969. At Lake Berryessa, a couple was enjoying the day near the water. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were suddenly approached by a man wearing a black hood. On his chest was a symbol, a circle with a cross through it. The Zodiac tied up the couple and repeatedly stabbed them. Brian survived, but Cecilia succumbed to her injuries 2 days later. Before leaving, he etched dates of previous murders on the victim's car with the word Zodiac. This was the first clear use of his symbol, now known worldwide. Chapter 5: The San Francisco Murder, Paul Stine, October 11th, 1969. In the heart of San Francisco, taxi driver Paul Stine picked up a passenger. The man seemed ordinary until the taxi reached Maple Street. He pulled out a gun and shot Paul Stine in the head. He stole the wallet and keys, then cut a piece of Stine's shirt, which he later mailed to a newspaper. This was undeniable proof that the Zodiac was not just sending letters, he was killing. Chapter 6: Ciphers, Codes, and Psychological Games. The Zodiac didn't just kill. He played games with the public and police. Between 1969 and 1970, he sent dozens of letters with ciphers, taunts, and cryptic threats. His most famous unsolved cipher, the 340-character code, remained unbroken for 51 years. It was finally solved in 2020, revealing, "I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." This letter confirmed the Zodiac's arrogance, cunning, and belief that he was untouchable. Chapter 7: Victims and Numbers. Authorities have confirmed 5 victims: Betty Lou Jensen, David Faraday, Darlene Ferrin, Cecilia Shepard, Paul Stine. Yet the Zodiac claimed many more. One letter even suggested he had killed 37 people. The true number of victims remains unknown, adding to the mystery. Chapter 8: Altenar Suspects. Over the years, many men were considered Zodiac suspects. The most famous, Arthur Lee Allen, who had a history of criminal behavior, suspicious writings, and connections to the area. But DNA evidence could not conclusively tie him to the crimes. Other theories involve men like Gary Francis Post, whose death in 2018 sparked renewed speculation. No theory has ever been officially confirmed. Chapter 9: The Unsolved Mystery. By the early 1970s, the Zodiac suddenly disappeared. Letters stopped, murders stopped, and he was never caught. Today, the FBI still keeps his case files open. His identity remains unknown. He is, to this day, one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Final, imagine a killer who stalks the night, taunts the police, codes letters and ciphers, and vanishes without a trace. The Zodiac Killer was not only a murderer, he was a master of fear, manipulation, and terror. His name remains a symbol of mystery, suspense, and one question that will never die. Who was the Zodiac Killer?